Today is my first Q&A because I feel like since I started back this channel, I haven't sat down with you guys and answer some questions about who I am, where I'm from, what I do, and why I'm here. And why are y'all watching me? So this is my 10 questions so you guys can get to know me better. Let's start with question 1. Now, also, I want to preface by saying I have not read these questions, so I am not prepared for any of them. I was going to read them, and then I'm like, no, if this is a Q&A, let's keep it 100, right? So question number 1, what's your personal definition of success, and has it evolved over time? Wow. Yes, my definition of success has definitely evolved over time. I think that when I first started my business and becoming an entrepreneur, I was definitely focusing on how much money I was making. But my definition of success now is seeing how much my business has grown in terms of being a safe space for my clients. And what I mean by that is when you come to my studio, it's a private one-on-one studio. The appointment usually starts and ends with a hug. And I think that that's my definition of success. I've been able to really create a space in an industry that is often focused on just the outside. And I've really been able to incorporate some beautiful healing modalities that helps people go a little deeper after and during their appointment. Question number 2, what's your current favorite perfume and what does it say about you? Okay, let me tell you something. I don't play about my perfume. I smell good. Oh. I have receipts. Ask anybody. I do not play around with my perfume. I feel like I'm in the season of niche perfumes. I really fall in love with ROJA. I love ROJA as a perfume house. They are a luxury perfume brand. I really love Isola Blue. Classic ROJA scent. I sprayed on my Sweetie Oud the other day when I was going out, and it reminded me of an amazing night that I had with a girlfriend. And I was like, yeah, this scent, that scent will literally make you have memories. And yeah. Number 3, what's one piece of advice you learned recently that shifted your mindset? Obedience. I've been talking a lot about obedience on this channel. It shifted my mindset because I realized when I'm trusting myself completely, I'm able to be obedient to what life is flowing and bringing to me. So that is one mindset shift that I've really been implementing, and I've really been enjoying it. Obedience to knowing and trusting that what's for me is for me. Just the obedience in knowing that when opportunities appear, it's for a reason, and not to allow past narratives, insecurities, doubts, or experiences dictate how I live my future. So that's a great question. Question number 4, what inspired you to start Allana Davis Studio, and how has your journey as a business owner shaped you? Wow. What inspired me to start a private one-on-one studio was very much what I said earlier, the need to create safe space. And I've always loved connecting with my clients on that one-on-one deep level. I've always worked in bigger salons and spas. And when there's, maybe a couple of feet of room between you and another chair, oftentimes conversations can spill over. The conversations were obviously limited. In 2016, opened up my first brick and mortar that was a private studio. I found that my level of a relationship with my clients really deepened, and our conversations wouldn't just be about beauty. They would be very comfortable to share so much more about their lives, their milestones. It's been phenomenal, and it's really shaped me because I've learned so many valuable lessons in my chair in the studio about myself, about how people navigate difficult times, how people are able to also celebrate their milestones and their joys. That is one thing that I really learned through my business, is how to celebrate yourself. My clients are extremely successful people in all facets of lives. I have stay-at-home moms that have dedicated their lives to, raising their children and, protecting and raising their families. And I'm inspired by them. I'm inspired by global leaders and business owners and actresses and actors. I just have everybody, and it's just great. It's great to like be surrounded around greatness daily. Like my clients, top notch, top tier. My clients are like, trust me, my clients are the bomb. Question number 5. What's one thing you're still working on or trying to figure out in life? I think the one thing that I'm trying to figure out is how deep a lot of the narrative that I've told myself or believed about myself have prevented me from doing or trying the things that I want to experience in life. I think that that's one thing that I'm still working on, is not allowing being in obedience. There's the word again, obedience. That's the word. Question number 6. If you could only eat at one restaurant for the rest of your life, which would it be and why? Adrak. I'm sorry. I don't care what anyone else says. All my Desi, Indian, Pakistani friends that are watching this. Adrak, oh my God. I love their food. They're at Avenue and Davenport Road. They are a Michelin star restaurant. I just feel like it is so flavorful. The best Indian food in the city. It is so delicious. That's in Toronto. If you want to talk about New York, Miami, Montreal, we can get there. I love food. Okay, question number 7. What's your go-to mindset hack for staying motivated through tough days? Woo, this one's good. My go-to mindset hack for staying motivated in really hard days is focusing on how I'm feeling. If I'm feeling down, I don't just try to push through that feeling. I really sit in it. I honor it. I try to make sense out of it, and I work with it. Instead of pushing against the grain, I'm going with the grain. I'm going with the flow of life, because oftentimes I feel like when I'm not super motivated in a day, it can be from many things. Maybe I'm just having a crappy day, or it could also be an indication that I'm just mentally exhausted. I need to take care of myself. I need to, do some spiritual work on myself, some energy work on myself. Maybe I need a saging. Maybe I need a clearing, whatever the case may be. And I find that when I'm able to hold space for the days that I'm sluggish and really understand what I need, and I'm able to give it to myself, then the rest of my day generally, almost always, starts to flow better. Obviously, there's some times when even a good shake or a good saging doesn't work. Then I just also have to honor that and just accept the day for what it is. Question number 8. If you could live anywhere in the world, where would it be and why? I have no idea. My husband and I love Miami. It's exciting, and I don't know how it would be to live there, but I don't know yet. I really don't know yet. I think there's so much more of the world that I'm ready to explore and excited to explore. And maybe one day I'll land somewhere and be like, this is it. That hasn't happened yet. That's what I'm waiting for. I do love Toronto. I mean, Toronto's home. Toronto's amazing. But yeah, question number 9. How do you balance running your business, creating content, and staying present in your personal life? I really feel like everything is connected at this moment in time. Balance with running my business, it's hard. I mean, I'm busy. I'm a single operator, so it's just me. Have implemented things like automation, so people can book their appointments online if they're not messaging me, and handle their appointments online themselves. They don't need me for that. So that's really helped with me just showing up, making sure that when I come home from work, I'm not bringing work with me. I really do take time at the end of my day to sit in my studio by myself for 10-15 minutes before I leave, releasing the day, and then coming home and enjoying my home life. And when it comes to content creation, I love content creation. This is easy for me, thankfully. So I just get inspired by it. It's like basically another extension of my art. So I love editing. I love adding, doing the videos and then, capturing certain footage and feeling the walkthrough and the flow through of content creation. So I love it. And staying present with my personal life, my friends really inspire me. I have such different groups and energies of friends that really help feed my creative side. So being around them really fills my cup. So we're on the final question already, which is insane to me. But what's the one word or phrase that's guiding you this year, and why did you choose it? So my word is, I want you guys to say it out loud, obedience. Obedience is my word, and it wasn't a word that I chose. It was a word that was presented to me and brought to me. I was doing a podcast with my friend Anastasia Gordon, huge bookshelf behind me. And I came across this book called My Utmost for My Highest. I just flipped to a page, ended up finding this word obedience and what it meant. And when I read it, I was like, yeah, that's where I'm at. Being obedient to the flow of life, being obedient to trusting myself, and through that being able to flow. Okay, so this video ain't done yet because we have 3 bonus questions. And bonus question number 1 is, what's a lesson you've learned from failure and how has it shaped your perspective? Wow. When I was doing hair and makeup, I remember taking on a client that I knew wasn't for me. That was a lesson that I learned. Not every single client is for you. And it's okay to say no, because what ended up happening is I was miserable during the whole appointment. She was definitely not happy, even though she would say till this day that she was. And I will say this, even though she was that experience was a lesson, she is now my facial client and we have the best relationship. But she will say that she was happy with it, but I know she wasn't. I think she was satisfied with it, but she wasn't happy with it, because I know when someone looks in the mirror and they're like, I'm loving this. Even if I'm pushing the limits with them, I will usually get a text message later on and be like, I feel so fabulous. She did not. So if you're watching this, you know who you are. You did not. Bonus question number 2 is, what does self-care look like for you and how do you make time for it? Self-care is highly important to me. It's what my business is built off of. It's what I preach to my clients. I've really gotten into a space of creating mini rituals. So my morning routine, that's a ritual. My nighttime routine, that's a ritual. Saging is a huge part of my self-care ritual. Saging is such a beautiful tool, is what I call it, where when you light it, you can literally feel your energy shifting. Meditation, journaling, pure energy healing. I offer pure energy healing through Allana Rise. Pure energy healing is, and I do self-healing on myself, is a beautiful way just to clear my chakras and rebalance myself. I love energy work. So that is what my self-care looks like. Bonus question number 3. If someone visited your studio, what's the one thing you'd want them to take away from the experience? They leave feeling more in tune and aligned with who they truly are. They feel more in their body, relaxed, happy, that they want to come back. I definitely would want them to feel like they want to come back and they can't wait to come back. That's how I want my clients to feel. And I feel like that's how my clients generally feel. Leave a comment below if you want. But my favorite thing is when I see like my clients come in, if they've had a busy day, the way they just like toss off their shoes, rip off their coats, and just like get changed and jump into the massage table is like the best. And they just take like a deep breath. That is the highlight always. Okay, so this was so fun. Definitely going to do this again. Next one is probably going to be about skincare. So if you have any skincare questions, start sending them to me. But I'm also going to post on my Instagram stories a little chat bot where you can enter your questions that you have about skincare or any treatments when it comes to the beauty world. And I will do my best to answer them. Honestly, always. Anyways, now what am I going to do?